Hey YouTube, it's Mark.
And Rocky.
And we are
This Cruise Life.
On July 24th, Carnival Corporation announced the order of an additional 3 ships to be added to the namesake Carnival Cruise Line.
If you're keeping track, this is in addition to 2 new ship orders that were announced in February and March of this year.
In February, Carnival announced a 4th Excel-class ship to be added to the fleet. The LNG ships have been so successful with the launch post-COVID that they said, let's order another one and deliver it in 2027. These ships will be built by Meyer Werft, just like her sisters.
Then, just a little over a month later, Carnival Corporation announced they had signed an agreement with Meyer Werft to add a 5th Excel-class ship to be delivered in 2028.
You realize how big these ships are.
Yeah, each ship is capable of carrying 6,400 passengers. That's almost 13,000 additional passengers the cruise line will be able to carry by 2028.
The twin announcements led to some speculation about what ships Carnival Cruise Line might consider selling based on the boosted capacity. But then a couple months later, during their quarterly earnings call, the CEO pretty much quelled all of those discussions when they said they couldn't keep up with the demand. The record amount of bookings has been such that they don't have enough capacity. It turns out that Carnival Cruise Line has learned if you build it, they will come.
Oh my gosh. Well, fast forward to the end of July, and we were shocked when Carnival announced that we'd argue is the biggest news for the company in many years.
Oh my gosh. On July 24th, as mentioned, Carnival Corporation announced that Carnival Cruise Line would be getting a brand new class of ships, 3 new ships that would be dedicated to the namesake brand.
Unlike the Excel class, which were built by Meyer Werft, the new ships will be built by Fincantieri. Now, if you know, Fincantieri and Carnival have worked together. They actually helped build the Vista class of ships.
So, what do these new ships entail, you might be wondering? Well, so far the details are pretty sparse, but here's what we know. The ships will be the largest ever built by Fincantieri at nearly 230,000 gross tons. In fact, they'll be the biggest ships ever built in Italy.
Wow.
And for anyone keeping track, the ships will be similar to the Oasis class from Royal Caribbean.
Ooh.
Here's a fun fact. Utopia of the Seas just launched. She's just over 236,000 gross tons.
Wow.
These aren't that much smaller than Utopia of the Seas. Carnival is getting into the big ship market in a big way.
Compared to the Excel class, these ships add 50,000 gross tons. To put that into perspective, a fantasy class ship is 70,000 gross tons.
They're adding almost an entire fantasy class ship on top of the Excel class.
Each ship will have 3,000 staterooms and hold an eye-watering number of passengers, nearly 8,000 at max capacity.
Like the Excel class, this new class of ship will operate via liquefied natural gas or LNG. In fact, once delivered, 30% of Carnival Corporation's fleet will be powered by LNG, which is going to help them reach their greenhouse gas emission goals.
This is a huge announcement for Carnival, and it is in addition to the 2 new Excel class ships that they already announced in February and March.
The new ships are slated for 2029,
Yep.
2031, and 2033.
Across the 3 ships, they'll add nearly 24,000 passengers at max capacity.
That's in addition to the 13,000 you just mentioned at the start of this video with the new Excel class ships announced in February and March.
Right. At 37,000 passengers across the 5 ships, the cruise line will add more capacity than all of the fantasy class ships put together.
In fact, here's how big that number actually is. At double occupancy, you could take every passenger from Carnival's Spirit class of ships, Conquest class of ships, and Dream class of ships, and you'd still have several thousand beds available across the new 5 announced ships.
Wow. While demand for cruising is bigger than ever, these combined announcements led to even more speculation that ship sales will be in Carnival's future.
With the successful launch of Margaritaville at Sea Islander, a Spirit-class ship from Carnival Corporation, and that line's ambitious expansion plans, we won't be surprised if there are more announcements of acquiring at least one more Carnival ship.
Now, we love what Margaritaville at Sea did with the Spirit class and Costa Atlantica ship, and we would be happy to see them bring over more Spirit class ships. We'd also be excited to see what they could do with the Conquest class.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be super cool?
Now, more news is to come, but we wanted to share our excitement with you quickly after the news was announced.
So stay tuned to the channel as we'll be bringing you all of the details, of course, on each of the new Excel class ships, which we're going to try to get on,
Yes.
as well as any news that we hear related to the new 3 ships that were just announced by Carnival Cruise Line.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.